Hi everyone and welcome back to Sonic Academy's How to Make Progressive Trance with me, Chris and Yuli. In this one we're going to insert our pad, just moving the sidechain kick out of the way up the top there. So let's just do some housekeeping. Main riff, and up here main riff. So double click and we're going to go to an EX24 stereo, factory presets, synthesizer, pads, and Quarvello. Kind of have to use factory presets with ES2 or EX24 because they're sample based, so unless we're going to sit here and sample notes of keyboards, otherwise we just use factory presets. And there's some really lovely, this is just a very nice choir pad, and I'm sure we could recreate it with an ES2, but why not when we've got it sitting here. So going to add some notes in here, so create an empty region, and I want a kind of dissident pad here, so I'm going to C5, D5, D3 and D2. So let's have a listen around, and it's just got to be this sort of minorish type of pad in the background. So it's kind of off kilter. Now let's add some effects to that. So first thing, just going to add a little dab of compression in. Just to, it's got a bit of an LFO going, so it's just to try and smooth it all down. So ratio about 4 to 1. Attack, slow attack and slow release, because it is a pad we're dealing with here. Knee's roughly where it is. The next one is our delay, and what I'm going to use this for is not so much as to try and get a delay. It's more this, there's a flutter rate, an LFO within this tape delay that I really love. So we get the flutter intensity going. We'll bring the low cut and high cut down a little bit. So let's have a listen in solo. And you should just every now and again hear this there you go, and it's more that I'm looking for. And when you stop it, then it gives it that nice sort of wobbling effect. So the other thing we want to put in, bit of chorus, just a dab. So LFO intensity up to about 72, and LFO2 about 12, and we'll phase it 100%, so it's about 180, and a bit more in the mix. And let's try a reverb just to see if it makes any difference. So I'm going to go for platinum. I tend to use platinums over Space Designer. They're just a slightly bit less processor intensive, but Space Designer is much better. There's a much more truer reverb. So reverb time 370. I'm not 100% that's adding really much. No, I'm going to take that off because it doesn't, it's just not adding. And the next thing we want to do is EQ. I want to just scoop out the mids, so a nice big bell, big fat bell. And I want to lift the top end, so bring that down and lift the bottom. So it's just kind of like a loudness. You want the sort of smiley curve. That sounds fine. And so pad 1, and we'll call this pad 1. The next thing I'm going to do is open up our mixer, and I'm going to start collecting pads and sending them to a bus, and sort of effects. The next thing we're going to do is effects, so we're going to start bussing those all to one bus, and putting an overall sidechain compressor in that, so it just keeps things neat and tidy. So bus 31 is free, and let's name that pad, and insert a compressor, and we're going to sidechain this. So we've already set up a sidechain compressor, got the settings in the subbase if you remember. So we'll open up that compressor, hit copy over to our bus 31 compressor and paste those settings. And as a sidechain we want to insert bus 32. So just in case anybody's getting slightly confused as to what's going on with buses and stuff, I did move a fader there. Bus 32, we have an ultra beat just going straight over it, playing a kick that we can't hear because we've taken it off the output, but we can see it, and that should be 0. That's getting sent to bus 32 as you can see here, but we can't hear it. We've no output for bus 32 because we don't want to hear this kick. We just want to send this kick to compressors to do sidechaining. So on bus 31, where did that compressor go? I must watch this video back and see what it did there. Yeah, so we paste, and we want to insert bus 32 as the sidechain. So this is sent into bus 32, and bus 32 is then going to this compressor. This synth is going to bus 31 and is being affected by the compressor and the kick from bus 32. So hopefully that'll make sense. So just to recap, this ultra beat, we've taken off the main output and we're just sending it to bus 32. We don't have an output on bus 32, but we're telling the compressors to look at bus 32 for your sidechain because there's a kick going on there. So this compressor is being affected by bus 32. This pad is being sent to bus 31 and affected by the compressor with the sidechain of bus 32. So any other pads we will send over to bus 31, and then next, once we start bringing in some effects and looking at the arrangement, we'll be adding compressors and stuff to bus 31. It means with like the hi-hats, I will send all the percussion to a bus, and then I just have to put a filter over the top of those. If I want a big filter down of all the percussion and reverbs, I just have to put one instance and automate that one instance. So it just keeps everything quite kind of simple. Plus then we can do stems out of the buses. So in the next one we're going to start looking at bringing in some of our effects and perhaps rearranging the intro. So sorry, just one other thing I want to do with the pads is back to the piano roll. Now we've got them in sounding okay, let's just copy these guys up, and we just want to put in our chords. So control click, and let's bring up our piano roll, and let's squish this down a bit. So, oh, we don't want that. So this D we want to drop to an F, and these two Ds we want to bring up to F. Then bring these up to match, and then we just want to lift the whole thing up from F sharp to G, and that's quite simple. And then these guys we want to bring up to D sharp, make sure it's D sharp, A sharp, yep, sorry, A sharp, apologies. Bring this one down to F, and this one down to C. So let's hear how that should sound all together. Yep, and there's something going on with the riff. Don't know how that's got out. Get back. There we go. So that's our main riffs in. The next thing I think we're going to look at is the or starting to arrange our intro and bringing in some effects.